Good morning. So today's class we are going to discuss with single degree of freedom system, undamped free vibration. So to generate the equation of motion as well as to study the displacement response of the system. So we know what is free vibration. I have discussed in the previous class. Free vibration means the force is not acting in the system. That is, the source of vibration is not acting in the system during the course of vibration. So that is free vibration. Then what is undamped? Damping is the resistance to vibration. We assume that there is no damping in the system. So there is no resistance to vibration, and the force which is responsible for producing the vibration is not existing in the structure during the time of vibration. So that is the first case. Let us see how to develop the equation of motion and the response. So consider this undamped free vibration. So a mass m, single degree of freedom system means only one coordinate is required to describe the position of the mass at any instant of time. From the start, after certain interval of time, to locate the position, there is only need for one coordinate. That one coordinate is x. That is why it is put on a roller. So this mass is moving only in the x direction. Now the stiffness or the resistance developed to the motion is represented by a spring of stiffness K. Stiffness is the load required to produce unit deformation. So an actual structure having a single degree of freedom system is mathematically idealized like this, a spring mass model. Now considering the forces acting on this mass, the mass M is subjected to the spring force or the resistive force, spring force, which is proportional to the spring force is proportional to the stiffness of the spring, and it is proportional to the displacement also. It is proportional to the displacement of the system. K is a constant, spring constant, and X is the displacement of the system. So Kx represents the spring force, and we apply the inertia force. The mass moves in x positive direction. So mass into acceleration, mx double dot is called the inertia force. We apply it opposite to the direction of motion. So together with the external force, there is no external force, it is free vibration. So this is the free body diagram. The mass is subjected to a force kx, and we apply the inertia force opposite to the direction of motion. So the equation of equilibrium, is, looking into this figure, sigma x0 x direction when we take the horizontal equilibrium, mx double dot plus kx is equal to 0. This is the equation of equilibrium. Now we have make a change. Let me divide it throughout by m, so that it will become x double dot plus k by m, x is equal to 0. We make a substitution. Let us assume that this km by m is equal to omega square, or omega is equal to root of k by m, and this omega is known as the natural frequency, or it is the circular frequency. The unit is radian per second. Frequency is the number of times the vibration repeats itself in unit time. The number of repetitions in unit time is called the frequency of vibration, and the frequency of vibration omega is root of k by m is called the natural frequency of the system. And here this is very important. The K, unit of stiffness, must be put in Newton per meter, and the mass should be substituted in kilogram, so that we get omega in radian per second. So omega is the natural frequency or the circular frequency or angular frequency of the system, so that I can rewrite this equation as x double dot plus omega square x is equal to 0. So it is a second order ordinary differential equation. X double dot means d square x by dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0. So the equation of motion of a single degree freedom system subjected to free vibration without any damping, the equation is x double dot plus omega square x is equal to 0. So you have studied lot of mathematics in your lower classes, and application of that differential equation solution, partial differential equation solution, etc. is very much useful for the structural dynamics subject. So let us solve this equation. You know how to solve a second order partial differential equation. X double dot plus omega square is equal to 0. That is the governing equation. Let us come to the solution. How will you solve this equation? The auxiliary equation. I have just recollect it. You know already. Auxiliary equation is d square plus omega square of x is equal to 0, or we'll get lambda square plus omega square is equal to 0, or lambda is equal to plus or minus I omega. Therefore, the solution is x at any time. X is equal to the displacement varies with time. X is equal to a1 e raised to I omega t plus a2 e raised to minus I omega t. Expanding this and rearranging, we can write it as x at any time is equal to e raised to I omega t is cos omega t plus I sin omega t. Minus I omega t means that is also cos omega t minus I sin omega t. Then coupling the terms, similar terms together, and we define two new coefficients, C1 cos omega t plus C2 sin omega t. This is equation 3. So the solution of the differential equation d square x by dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0 is of the form x is equal to C1 cos omega t plus C2 sin omega t, where the C1 and C2 are constants, which we have to find out based on the boundary conditions. So it's a second order differential equation. So to solve the unknown constants, you need two initial conditions. So based on the two initial conditions, we can evaluate C1 and C2. Let us see what are the initial conditions. Okay, we have seen the solution of x double dot plus omega square x is equal to 0. The second order differential equation is of the form x is equal to C1 cos omega t plus C2 sin omega t. To evaluate the constant C1 and C2, we need initial conditions. That initial conditions, let us assume at time t is equal to 0, x is equal to x0. The physical meaning is at the starting time, the system starts with some initial displacement. Instead of assuming 0, we assume that there is some initial value. So the initial displacement x is equal to x0. Similarly, at time t is equal to 0, x dash, the initial velocity, it is x0 dash. That is, the system is starting with some initial displacement and initial velocity. The numerical values are x0 and x0 dash. Now come back to this solution. Put t is equal to 0 in this and put t is equal to 0. X is equal to x0. x0 is equal to C1 cos omega t. Cos 0 is 1 plus C2 sin 0 is 0. So we will get the first constant of integration x1, C1 is equal to x0. To get C2, we differentiate this. You differentiate this expression, it was 3. Differentiating that, x, when you differentiate x, dx by dt or x dash is equal to C1 cos omega t is sin omega t into minus omega. And C2 sin omega t, C2 into sin omega t, the differentiation is cos omega t into omega. Now put t is equal to 0 in this expression. At t is equal to 0, x dash. X dash is x0 dash. The value of x dash is x0 dash. Putting t is equal to 0 in this, sin 0 is 0 plus c2 omega. Cos omega t is 1, c2 omega. From that we get the constant of integration c2 is equal to x0 dash by omega. So now we have got both the constants of integration. We can write the solution. So the final solution is x, the displacement at any time. X is equal to x0 cos omega t plus x0 dot by omega sin omega t. So this is the displacement response. This is called the displacement response. Displacement response means the variation of displacement with respect to time of a single degree of freedom subjected to free vibration and there is no damping. So this much part is purely mathematics. Now what is the significance? As an engineering student, you should understand the physical significance of this. What does this represent? The displacement at any time. Say here it is cos omega t term. There is sin omega t term. These two are harmonic functions. Harmonic functions are periodic functions. It repeats itself. When you plot cos omega t for different values of time, it will be a periodic or an oscillatory function. So this represents the motion of the system is oscillatory. The system has oscillatory motion. And how it moves, let us represent it pictorially. Okay, we'll represent it in a figure. See how this motion can be represented. This is the axis along which I mark t. Along this axis, I mark x. The system starts with an initial displacement x0. So from here I mark something which is called x0. This is the initial displacement. And it is having some initial velocity. So the slope of the graph at this initial point, this is x0 dash, the initial velocity. And it contains cos omega t, sin omega t terms. That means this will be the pattern of motion. So a system subjected to vibration, and if it is not having any resistance to vibration, it go on oscillating with the same amplitude. This is called the amplitude. The maximum displacement from the mean position is called amplitude, and it will go on vibrating with the same amplitude for indefinite time. So this is called the displacement time response, the variation of displacement with respect to time. Now I can represent it in another form also. If I represent it as a circular motion, now I am going to represent the same equation in another form by some substitutions. Here I am going to use the substitution. Say x0 is equal to amplitude A cos psi, and this x0 dot by omega, I am going to make another substitution, A sin psi, where A is called the amplitude and psi is called the phase difference. I will come to that. So when we make these substitutions, we can rearrange this equation. See how it gets rearranged. It will become x is equal to A cos psi cos omega t plus A sin psi sin omega t. Or this is of the form cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. It is cos A minus B, or you can write it as x is equal to A cos psi minus omega t. The displacement at any time can be expressed in terms of the amplitude vector in terms of the amplitude, and psi is known as A is the amplitude of motion. Amplitude means the maximum displacement from the mean position, and psi is called phase difference. The phase difference is nothing but, see, in this figure, it starts from x0 displacement, having an initial velocity x0 dash. This is the amplitude. This amplitude, how much it is lagging behind the initial vector. From the initial displacement, how much it lags from, or at what time it occurs after the initial displacement, the amplitude, the maximum displacement occurs. That is called psi, and that is the phase difference. So in the circular representation, the circular motion representation, you can see that this is x0. So this is the amplitude vector x. This is x0. So x0 is nothing but a cos psi. We have written here x0 is equal to a cos psi. And x0 dot by omega is equal to a sin psi. So this representation, from this we can get psi. And in case if you have to find out the amplitude based on the initial displacement and initial velocity, amplitude is squaring and adding these two. Squaring and adding these two will get amplitude is equal to root of x0 square plus x0 dot by omega the whole square. This is sometimes required in solving the numerical examples. You may be given the initial displacement and initial velocity, from that to get the amplitude of vibration, or sometimes you will be given the amplitude of vibration, from that you have to find out the initial displacement. From that case, if you are given the amplitude and asked to find out the displacement at any instant, you can make use of this equation. And what is psi? From these two, this divided by this, tan psi is equal to x0 dot by omega divided by x0. So from the initial displacement and initial velocity, we can calculate the amplitude of motion as well as the phase lag. So this is the theoretical part for undamped free vibration of a single degree of freedom system. In the next class, we will be doing some numerical examples based on this in a different platform. Okay, thank you.